Good evening, welcome back to Tyotal Recall, where we're going to try and take over Tokyo as the nation of Tyo. At least that's the goal that we have come up with as we go along. Maybe we should slow it down a bit away from speed 5, because such things cause generals to die. But that's okay, it's a time of peace for our nation. It probably will be peace for the next several years, since here we are, Tyo, but we really have no sea zone here. Kilwa, as our vassal, controls it all, although we are gobbling them up as soon as possible. Sadly, they have not forged any claims on provinces that we're after, but maybe that can be changed. I'm not sure if it will, since AI is going to do whatever it pleases, but maybe if I voice my strong opinion that there are provinces I desire, they may end up fabricating some claims for us. I don't know. This is Kilwa. It's up to them. Kilwa and I have not really seen eye to eye for a long time, so maybe by chance you haven't been seeing any of this Tyo run. We started out with one province and in one shot, obviously. Yeah, maybe not. We took down Congo and then United Central Africa and then grabbed the Victoria Lake region. And then some more. And now we've got problems. Where in the world is Shinji? Perhaps I should worry about that a bit more. Only 8 of them though, we can take them on, no problem. With or without a general. Although Daniel Tyo, he seems like a man for the job. I really want him dead as quickly as possible. Like I said, a time of relative peace. Once Kilwa is inside us though, I feel like going on a bit of a rampage. Oh me oh my, getting some autonomy from that because I wasted too much time. But that's okay. What isn't so okay is the nature of our nation at the moment. Because it looks like some Europeans are on the move here. That looks like a French province. Oh me oh my. So much stability we don't even know what to do with it. But that's rather nice, isn't it? What I'm going to actually do, it might be a little ahead of time, but you never know when somebody's going to get a bee in their bonnet and decide that our nation needs to die. I'm going to establish a couple of forts, one in Matamba and the other in Mpangu, just to stop anybody advancing too deep into my country if they decide to declare war on this side. It also gives them not very much area to run away from. I know it's very unlike me to be building up provinces with forts, but what I'm going to do in this game is not westernize. So I might find myself a little underfoot when Europeans arrive and decide that they want my fetish land. Otherwise though, there's not really much of a reason to be paying my army. I also don't have to root out any corruption, because whilst I do get some from unbalanced research, the positive stability negates that. And the unbalanced research isn't quite so harsh for people that aren't Western technology, so that's nice. It's nice not to have to worry too much about corruption, because I have been spending a sleepless night or two on the forums, because Mare Nostrum just released, so naturally there's a lot of post-release work to be done. But there's nothing quite like stress relief for post-release. And to do that with Tyo crushing down people that are weaker than me, that's the way to do it for me. So it's kind of funny that Kilwa, instead of grabbing any claims on others, is probably just getting worked up about that core of theirs that they have on my land. Now, one thing that I do want to do that I never thought of earlier is that I'm going to make this a state. I have the spare I have the spare state slot to do it here, and here. And these are only territorial cores, so it's not like I'm losing out here. The autonomy will go down to 50. It would go down further if I cored the province, but I don't want to. Because later on I'm going to have provinces, or rather other provinces, which I wish to make into my states. So what'll I do? I could grab these 3, which is 9, 5, and 3, or I could grab some up here. Looking at it, I have one more state that I could throw down. And I think I'll stick it down into the Zambian region. I've got 5, 5, and 4 there. Or I could do it here, 9, 5, and 3. Well, these aren't my cores at all. And they're all part of Ngongde. So I shall do just that. Like I said, no intention of coring them, at least not yet. Does make those estates of mine get a little up in my face though. But I think there'll be plenty of reason to throw down some clergy around here so that I can get areas converted quite a bit better. So I want to throw down those clergy to places that, well, it has to be within states, so that'll do. Get them off my case. Maybe move your capital, Jake. I'll be thinking about that later. Jake, how are your states and territories looking? Well, since I went away from being tribal, I have 18 states available to me. Also since I finished the admin, because I needed to stop being tribal. 1 corruption or 1 stability? Well, 1 corruption is quite a lot of income that I'm not too keen on getting rid of. We have stability for days, so farewell. And of course now would be a great time for our great ruler to die to bring us down another notch of stability. Okay, but what I do want is to actually start having a navy for a change. I'm going to need... Well, I'm going to actually need to figure out what my enemy here, Betsimaraka, has and be able to counter it. So let's have a quick dilly-dally into what they may or may not have. Yes, because I know my alphabet here. A couple of heavies, some lights, and a whole bunch of transports. So we're going to need a heavy fleet. And when it comes to them, we are a wee bit away from getting Carracks on our side. And they will be able to have Carracks. So that's going to be problematic. Do I want some heavy ships straight off the bat, even though they are going to be inferior? I think yes I do. It's going to cost a lot of sailors, but yes, we're going to build us up some Carracks. 5 should be able to put the Fear of God into them, and I have plenty naval limit to support them. I do not have the sailors limit to support them, unfortunately, but there's the thing, I do get sailors, albeit very slowly. So we'll get that sorted. I'll certainly get a lot more sailors once the Kilwan land is part of me, because at the moment it's just these provinces that give me sailors. And let's see, 25 autonomy, 25 autonomy. For the most part it's okay, but they're fairly undeveloped provinces. Jake, you are using Kilwa's technology, so you do not get upgraded Carracks. Or rather, so you do get upgraded Carracks. Well, isn't that most fortunate? It's almost like I planned the thing from the get-go. I'll also want some transports. Fortunately, I'll get 5 when I get Kilwa inside me, but I will want more than that. I'll wait for my sailors to rejuvenate. Till then, what am I going to want? I want the dip rep, so I can get them inside me faster. And, oh, I want everything. What can I afford? Well, can't go wrong with a touch of discipline. The game tempts me ever so by asking me if I want to go theocratic. Boy, I love going theocratic, but I don't have religious or diplo, and it's unlikely that I will get either. I plan on finishing defensive, and then I want to go for espionage ideas, because I almost have a plan, but not quite. Yeah, Nightbeer is asking what ideas I've taken, and earlier there was a question asking what our ideas were in the first place. Well, we use Congolese ideas, because it was a bit of a shame that Congo hogged those ideas to themselves, so we get the extra attrition for enemies and the land attrition for ourselves reduced. Our fort defense of 10, manpower, stability cost, infantry cost, which boy I love that, culture conversion, unrest, trade efficiency, and leaders upkeep. So no ideas that are actually going to make our enemies fight, or rather our troops fight any better. But you can't get everything, can you? Let's mothball these forts since they're not going to be too much use at the moment. They certainly will be if and when the enemies come and start attacking us. I've had this bark here for so long, I really am beginning to think it's not worth diddly. Should have gotten rid of it long ago. What is your reason for not westernizing, Jake? Variation? Pretty much. I mean, there is this new tech group that we're playing with, Central Africa. I might as well take them for a good spin. Plus, I have spent many hours reading the forums that have been telling me how unplayable the rest of the world is, so I might as well put some serious hours as rest of the world under my belt. Keeps me closer to the game and gives me a clear head when it comes to balancing the game. So it would be really nice if my vassal were to get those claims that I so desire them to have, and would you look at that, they have Mombasa. I think it's time that you died. I have really been appreciating the transfer trade power that you have given to me, but I don't really like it quite enough. I should get my army in position. I won't need much since they're only allied with Ajiran, and I also don't give two hoots about Ajiran. So let's sit back, get ourselves into position, and maybe with a bit of luck Daniel Tyo is going to die, because I want him dead. 312 is just no good to be ruling the great nation of Tyo. Also grab that land maintenance modifier, come ever closer to that infantry cost reduction, which I really like, and let's start paying our army for a change. Their technology is also at level 10, so we're fairly on par. Although I do like this, we can get ourselves some extra states. Extra states working out really good for me, because what I can do is put them down and revoke them later. The downside to doing that is if I revoke them, I'm going to be turning full cores into territorial cores. That's what happens, so I can't really do that when there are estates on the go. But let's take this one. Ngonde is my state. If I were to make it into a territory, then... oh wait, no, am I looking this the other way around? We'll be losing that maintenance. It doesn't warn me about losing any territorial cores because... or rather losing any full cores since they are there. Do I have any that don't have estates inside them? Like this one here. Yeah, all the cores would turn into territorial cores, so I'd essentially be facing a loss of admin. So I'll avoid doing that for now. It does tempt me here, but I'll be okay. Okay, Mombasa, it is time for you to die. Time for the nobility to decline as well. What are we going to do about this? Well, we could grab some support from the clergy, which would be rather nice, because I would like a bit of extra admin. Would also like a ducat or two. Thank you, merchant guilds. And how about you? Where's that military support I am so desiring? We'll call a diet for you because I have plenty of prestige to throw away, and grab that extra military power. Tempts me ever so to get generalship as well. That'll last for 10 years, but this will also last for 10 years. So I think I will take my free general. Certainly have a slot for one. Gimme, gimme. Hey, he's pretty good. He's pretty damn good. I would quite like him to be fighting here, but I want Daniel Tyo dead. We'll give Daniel Tyo the lesser army and see how that all goes down. Probably should have balanced out my armies a bit here since I don't have any of my artillery around. We'll send the artillery up. I'm sure they'll make great use, or rather be of great use against the enemy capital. Okay, one more month we'll have plenty. And all these cores, they would be instant cores, but I'm not interested in making those at the moment at least. Still, it is time for you to die. Ajiran, your friend, will get pulled into all this, but they have no allies. They don't hold really anything I care about. The only thing they have that I care about is their government type, and I can't strip them of that. So I might as well make them a co-belligerent, and we will be taking that province in the name of our good friend Kilwa. Took us a while to work out our differences, but work it out we did. You guys focus on the capital there, and Kilwa will no doubt help us. Now Mombasa got some condottieri help, so this might not be as easy as I thought. I should bring up some extra troops to help out. Did I say not as easy as I might have thought? Kill and keep moving, lads. Jings malings. Where's the challenge? Would be nice if Kilwa would get off their bum and help us a bit. Well, I'm sure they have their own ideas of how to do things. Now, who was it that got involved in all this? Maybe I wasn't paying attention to who rented out those troops for them to help. Oh yes, it was Aludia, who actually have military access to Ethiopia. We can see them here. Has Condottieri troops hired by Mombasa. So I need to be ready for them appearing from... Well, they would have to come around here, but they do have access through Ethiopia, so... So, what is a man to do? Well, for starters, let's take care of any of these units that will be rising up. Like I said, just keep moving. Didn't even realize there was a fort there. How silly of me. Just like how I barely realized there were units there. Okay, here they come. Here come those Condottieri, but thankfully Kilwa's on the move as well. Where is the Malindi border? Malindi. Malindi. I don't get it. But there's a lot of things I don't get. Okay, so it would be nice if Kilwa would help us fight here. But they're on their way to Dawa on the 3rd of May. So I'd rather think you were going to engage them in April. Well, you're already locked in, so I might as well provide some backup. And my pretty good general. Not as good as your general, but hey, backup is backup, right? We got this more than sorted, really. Perhaps we'll leave Ajiran to sit there and think about what they've done. Or maybe we'll kill them. It's really hard to tell. I'm going to be giving all of the land that encapsulates the Zanzibar trade node to Kilwa, and then I'm going to eat them. One thing I should keep an eye on is that Kilwa do not get too much development so that they go revolting again. They have 72. I imagine all this is going to give them plus 25 from having over 100, but that's not too bad. As long as they don't get yet more better diplomatic technology compared to me. That's alright. I fear no vassal. All looking pretty hunky-dory. And it's nice of Kilwa to actually take care of this fort themselves. So I rather think everybody can just ging hame. You fought well. Well, actually, by going home, I mean we can go to Kilwa. It's going to be our home soon enough. And I like that Daniel Tyo is on the case with that siege. And there we go, that's all we need. That's our 99%. And transfer everything over to Kilwa. Now, it might be tempting to grab a province for myself, but I already got rid of that idea by transferring this over to Kilwa. It's not like having this province would help me out at all. I couldn't fabricate any claims around here. Most importantly, I would not be able to get any claims over here in Madagascar. I guess they've closed their borders. I wonder how often I can drum that joke before it gets pretty old. We've got some religious zeal going on here until August. Yeah, another 20 odd years, so it'll be a while before we convert a fair chunk of these, but I demand that fetishism be spread. I guess we might take religious ideas, but I like to think we can survive without them. This is as far as we go in terms of the trade node that we're after, and I see no reason for unnecessary expansion. Let's take all that, take the money, and there's really little reason to take anything else. And see, Kilwa's all nice and happy about that. It's important that you keep your vassals good and happy. Mombasa and Ajiran would want to join a coalition against me, but I assure you they will not. Warsangali would as well. Well, boo-hoo. What's even left of Warsangali? They're so small they would probably want to be my vassal once I integrate this. And I might just do that. They have a lot of cores. In fact, with that in mind, let's improve relations with them. I could do with a buffer state or buffer march to the north. Someone who can grab loads of forts. Good, my forts can get re-enabled by war. Not the biggest fan of that. I like to turn it off and live dangerously. Okay, the Vasca of my stability resumes. Sure wish I had that event again. Okay. Good to keep your corruption low for events like this. Pow. A march is what's left, Jake. Nah. These guys will happily be my vassal. I'm sure of it. I mean, I'll ally them when they're not outraged and they actually like me a bit. I'll marry them, and then once there's no distance between borders, which is 81 of this, I'll be able to get them as a vassal. Thankfully they are a duchy whilst I am a kingdom. The great kingdom of Tyo, naturally. And we're halfway towards being an empire as well. That's just lovely. (664), I've got ruler envy. Unfortunately, Umar II Muzaffar is not doing them a great load of good. Mogadishu have a core there. I would far rather have Mogadishu. I do love them, but Warsaw and Gali have all those cores that are very difficult to argue with. And I would love to go in the ring against Ethiopia. Even though they're crusading against Ajiran, they're probably going to envelop Warsaw and Gali themselves. Just need to make sure they're not going to beat me to the diplomatic punch here. Because it's still a wee while before we get our vassal inside of us. 10 years, in fact. Fortunately, we're still keeping them on the good side of being our vassal. Although that might not last forever. Now, where am I looking with this? I'm not keen on spending loads of money. As many know. Mamluks going bankrupt. It's kind of a darker colour of Mamluks, I must say. They're allied with the Ottomans. We'll see how long that lasts. I tried to play the same tune when I was playing as Mazab, but the Ottomans sure love to turn on me. Jake should secure Warsaw and Gali now by making them vital interest and having Kiowa fabricate on them. Force vassal will dribble away soon enough. I could, but I really want to do it diplomatically. That said, 10 years is a tough one. Well, Kiowa might. They might do it. I'll try. I mean, Kiowa is also militarist, and they desire these provinces as well. But they're not going for it. They're getting all the cores though, bless them. The wonderful thing is that if they get full cores themselves, then I will get the full cores when I integrate them. If they have territorial cores, then I get territorial cores. But I'll be making all of this into a state. Oh really? I must have already had pretty good relations with you. I want that Diplo power. Even though my inflation is getting a little out of hand, we can just pop that down a touch, no one will know. And everything is good as gold. This is pretty bad, but I mean the events and province defections will dribble away here. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Since there's not much going on at the moment, it would go a long way for me to repurpose my divisions here. Jeez, listen to me, it's like I've been playing too much Hearts of Iron 4. So what should we go for? Smaller or bigger? I could set these into 3s. I'd rather go for something that's a bit more cavalry heavy, so 10, 4, and 1. Doesn't split in half very well though, does it? 10, 4, and 2. I need to get a bit bigger before I can start sorting things out like that. Plus I have Kiowa's troops to integrate and I can worry more about it. There's no such thing as too much Hearts of Iron 4. I have to agree with that. I've been playing it a lot and enjoying it even more. Let's get that fort maintenance and fort defense, but most importantly that infantry cost. Boy, I love having cheap infantry. I also like having a decent amount of boats here. So I'm going to need these heavy ships. There's not much point to me doing fleet maintenance for them. So let's get that tuckered right down. good. Mali has attempted westernization. We'll see how that works out for them. And I'm going to need some cogs over here as well. At the moment I'll get 6 transports, but I want it to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And honestly, I'm actually building cogs here. Yeah. Could do with some more Caddox too, but I need those sailors before I do anything. Does infantry cost affect infantry maintenance, Jake? Yes, it does. Well, better, or else I've been very mistaken. The game really wants to rob me of that stability. Probably trying to say that I've been too cocky. How are we looking first? Unless this is a province that I really don't care about, and it probably isn't since I've made it into a state here. And it's my culture. You know what? Nobles are just going to have to sod off. It even affects Merc infantry, who haven't needed to rely on Mercs that much, which is a rather nice change of base. Now where can I put that Caddock of mine? There we go, it's going to take a wee while, but I need them. And I need that money, because damn do I love money. I haven't been building up that many buildings, but because this is going to be the core of my country, really, I probably should. For starters, let's get some lovely temples on the go, and anywhere that's going to increase it by 10 or more, I guess. Since I should get a bit of return on that, I would rather have production efficiency, especially in places that I'm going to be producing ivory or other such luxury goods, but it can be hard to judge. Yeah, we'll just throw that money down the drain. I know, me building buildings, it's rare, but it happens. Actually, when I just play really relaxing games, I tend to have super built up areas like that. But. Did I ever build a marketplace here? I should probably get around to that. Merchant guilds would synergize well with that. So we're looking good on the naval thing. Oh, also, if you hold control and draw your box, you will only get navies. Good way to avoid the issues when you accidentally select armies and navies. So how are we looking on that whole getting claims there, Kilwa? Nothing on what I want, but I guess I can't expect everything. Mogadishu... Jings, they really don't like me for some reason. Not interested in that alliance one bit, it seems. The distance between borders hurting us in many ways. That and the whole different religion thing. It's a shame they had to be so Sunni. And they don't have good ideas. I might force my religion on them again anyway, but I strongly suspect they won't convert anything, just like good old Kilwa is doing here, due to us having tolerance of heathens. That's a shame. It means if you want to spread fetishism, you're probably going to be going about it on your own. Well, Ashanti is trying to spread it through conquest. Good job. Or good luck, rather. Glad they get proper tax here, but they'll be fighting Mali, and Mali is never easy peasy. I guess unless you're Spain, they're doing a good job of it. Build stuff, Jake. Yeah, there are probably other things that I could be building, such as barracks. I got plenty of manpower, but you can always have more. I think anywhere that's going to increase it by more than